Yeah, any wins? Anybody?
Yeah, I felt like I had a pretty good one with the girls making a big sale
That is
without
pretty big.
me having to do anything.
That is that is that's next level.
It's pretty nice.
Um and like cash collected too?
Yeah, deposit down. So we asked for 60% on that one. So we got I guess like 12,000 in. So
Cool. That's great,
yep.
man. Congrats. Um cool. Any other wins from folks?
Um, I got a guy coming over on Sunday to finalize a quote for a desktop, and I'm going to end up quoting him somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000. So it'll be my biggest project ever. So
Cool.
not a big win. It'll be a big win next weekend, but like getting to this point feels pretty awesome.
You know what? I actually didn't know you make furniture too.
That's how we got started, and then we got into like custom drying, and now we're trying to get back into it now because we have some slabs we just couldn't move, so we're trying to see if we can push them into furniture.
You're kind of like um
Spaghetti against the wall. I'm not
no,
gonna be
no,
honest.
no. I mean, no, I get it. It's kind of it's just it's an interesting. It kind of makes sense. You have the slab planer or jointed wood thing to make furniture as well. So you do the drying, planing. You know what could be super interesting? Just selling tabletops to other woodworkers, like glue up,
Hmm.
flatten tabletops.
Yeah.
So like you get the slabs, um, and then you flatten them, and you just get them to like 120, and then you just sell them because now you're saving them lots of time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because doesn't like Rockler or like those big companies like that, don't they sort of do that with like monkey pod slabs and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's more about, if you think about your demographic of who your ideal customer is, it's like it's a woodworker. And so every step along the way, you want to solve the problem for them.
Hmm.
And the more that you can solve the problem, so if you're selling lumber, you're selling the fact that they can't dry their wood. If you're selling the planing services, then you're solving the fact that it's going to take them hours, if not days, to flatten to sand the wood to get them to the point. The next problem
All right.
after that is, why don't you just sell them either glue ups or flatten boards? I mean, flatten tabletops, and then you're like, without the milling, in which you don't actually need to because there's more than enough mills in your area.
Yeah.
Um, you've solved every problem for them. So then all they got to do is you're basically selling the picks and shovels strategy for your audience, like if you're selling you're selling them the thing that's going to save them time. So they put legs, they they get it to the finish, and you've saved them like 2 weeks worth of work.
Hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting.
I would
Yeah.
call 20 people and 20 woodworkers and be like, hey, at the end of the month, I'm gonna have a bunch of tabletops ready. Would you, and don't, I mean, you don't have them ready, but just say, if I were to have any tabletops, um, is that something you'd be interested in? And again, they can take, like, you're getting the wholesale price, and they're able to make money off of it.
Hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's also freeing up a room that I don't have to store these too. So lots of
So,
wins there. Okay.
Joey, don't you do that? Don't you sell tabletops? I think he's driving. But I think Joey sells tabletops as well. But I think tabletops is an underrated market. Like it's an underutilized market. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like the next
gotcha.
step after that would be to sell epoxy. And then, you know what I mean, and finishing products. That's like the next step after that. right? You sell them the
Gotcha,
lumber,
gotcha.
you sell them, because if you're selling them the lumber, anyway, that's just give that a shot.
Okay.
Okay. Any other wins before we get into questions?
I've got kind of I guess it's a win. I'm getting a new shop, so that's exciting.
Congrats.
Yeah, so that's
What
good.
what prompted it?
We need space in our house. So we've been looking for another house for a while now, but with the way the market has turned, it's just not working in our favor. So we are actually adding on, and in that process, I will have a shop space and it'll free up our basement and for other things. So it'll be nice to actually have a nice dedicated shop.
On your property?
Yes.
How long is that going to take?
We're hoping it should be done by February.
Cool. What are you building? What kind of building?
Oh, it's a 2-car garage. So it's not huge, but it's what we can put on our property at this point, which is still better than my basement.
That's cool.
Yep.
Congrats. Any recent sales?
Yes.
Tell me.
I delivered a tabletop.
What's that?
I delivered a countertop today.
Okay.
So I just
Cool.
got back from that. I
How-
have.
How did you get that job?
He found me on Instagram.
Okay, on Instagram.
Yep.
And then how much was it?
Just 1,000. It was a little like countertop.
Okay. How it didn't take you a long time?
No, it was like the quickest job I've done. I wish I could do more of those.
Have you seen my sell one, sell one, sell three training? Have you seen that? Okay, I will drop the video, but you guys, you should, if you sold one thing, and because who did you sell it to?
Just a local guy who was redoing, he made an addition to his house and he needed like a bar for their kitchen.
A bar
bar
top
top.
for the kitchen?
Yeah.
So, and so you think you saved him time, you saved him money, you gave him like, what do you think the
Oh, because he didn't build the addition himself. So he was just looking to probably, I'm not sure. I mean, he doesn't build, so.
Okay. Yeah, so I think one of the things is, so the thing that I would position it as is, are you looking to redo a new countertop? I can custom build a countertop for your, is it kitchen? What else could you do it for? Bar top? What else?
I'm not sure. They just redid their kitchen and this was like the final piece to their kitchen.
Okay. And it is like it's not a like a countertop where they're eating off of it, right?
They will be. Yeah. Like it's a little like, you know what I mean? How people have like a bar top against their, like it's a raised area in their from their island that they eat off of.
Yeah. So for me, that's kind of like that's a cool simple offer. And you could say new countertops start at 1,000, depending on the size and species, right? And then because I'm gonna put it in the chat, in our little Facebook chat.
Okay.
But watch this, because I did a whole training. I did this with Dylan. Hey Dylan, anything else come out of the the 1 to 3 strategy with the Murphy bed? Did anything come out of that? I know you're on an install, but it'd be great to get your feedback. You got a second lead. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. So basically the premise is, hey, I just delivered. Did you take pictures of the delivery?
No, well, I took pictures before I delivered it, but he's actually putting the finish on it.
Okay.
And installing. So it's not like, you know what I mean, done.
Sure. So that's one thing that I would do. I just maybe use Midjourney to show a countertop that like imagine,
Mhm.
and then from there, just make an offer. Say, hey, I have room for 2 or 3 more this month. I'd love to build you a new countertop kitchen island top. So I just put it in the chat. Just check that out. Let me know
Okay.
if you have any questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else? Or you know what? Let's just go into questions. So what questions do folks have? Hello.
We were wondering about the holiday thing that you'd put on your email about whether or not we should sign up for it individually, if there was going to be a whole other set of training for that. Just because I know that April and I are going to be heavily reliant on fourth quarter holiday sales as people who do small things, especially gift related things. So we kind of had questions about that.
Okay, so I have a training. Brittany, can you just remind me to give you the link to the training to share with everybody for the Q4 sales?
Yep.
All right. You know what? I actually have it open. I'll share it with you, Brittany, for you to share, like relook at it, and then we'll go from there.
Gotcha. Okay, so if it's the same thing, because I know that we've gone through the training before and we've done like some of the other.
The Q4, you did the Q4 training before?
I don't know if it's called that.
We saw it with, I think, yeah, there's a holiday training on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a Q4 holiday training.
Gotcha.
I'll share it with you guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay. Cool. Anything, who else has questions?
What up, Steve? What up, team?
Hey, what's up?
What's up,
Good
guys?
to see you.
It's been a while. Sorry.
No worries.
It's okay. So we're here. That is actually the question there, is that it's been a while. We'll share some wins, but I won't really go into a lot of detail to bore. But here's if you could see back here, here's our board, our giant board. So
Okay.
all these on this side we've completed, and what's left is 29,380. These are in progress, and they'll get done in 1 to 2 months, and that's 101,321.
Oh my God.
And then must convert are this list on the right hand side that are like people that want to go, they're almost there. We just need to get them into one of these 2 columns. So, and we're hitting contracts like 30 grand, 27 to 30, 77, 10 grand, 20,000.
Are these furniture or lumber?
Commercial. So from top to bottom, we have residential, flooring, commercial winery, and then Cal Fire is just a grant thing. And then on this side, what we have is milling for winery, residential, commercial, winery again. So 4 wineries on here. So we've been busy. And
Cool.
that's honestly why we haven't been in a lot, which we've been stressing about. Here, let me try to flip this camera again. We've been stressing about because we want to take advantage of this. Brittany's been helping us. Brittany's been helping us. She's helping us create an ad for a local magazine that we're going to take advantage of. Like just sent her a review on her ad for the landing page. We met with Dave and other people in the team, but where we're kind of struggling, I guess, that's a positive struggle though, is, we had all those jobs back there, right? They have to be completed. We have a lot, we have employees and things that we need to make sure to keep the cash flow right. We have 1,000, we're trying to have a website built. We're working with your team on various things. And then we have just the ongoing day to day, we operate. So we're oftentimes in the mix. I would say most of the time we're in the mix doing things in the operation. And it's it feels like way too many things, way too little time, yet we really can't afford right now to hire more people. We have 2 partial full-times and 1 part-time. And it's it doesn't feel like we can spend more money on people and we're booking out at the furniture side till December, January going into. And then the mills, like we have 3 more upcoming projects, so we're booking out probably November. So all that to say, like, I don't know how we increase our capacity or get more done. It just feels, even though what a great board, what all those successes are amazing, and I'm stoked for the business we're doing, but it as much as the little guy probably feels like I'm trying to come up and get through this and I'm just making it from month to month, we're just bigger and feel the same way. By the way, so we don't feel like fuck, we got to main.
So what do you think the question is? Like, what's the zero?
What is the question there? Help. That's the question. So the question is, given that we have the resources we have, right, and the limit and the time constraints that we have, what is the best focus bang for our buck? Because projects must go on, right? So like we can't unplug out of those because our cash flow would suffer. But if you could say, out of everything else we're working on, it doesn't seem like we have time for all of it. But if we just got to systematically go one thing at a time, what's the thing that would get us most bang for our buck? Like, how do we get out of this little hole that, not hole, but like where it's like a growth pain, right? Where we're at that maximum capacity, doing good, getting the biz, but like, how do we either level up? Is it focusing on a very specific thing? Because it feels like we just like got all this stuff going on, and we got to know where to zero in.
Okay, so in terms of your jobs, individual jobs between both of you, is there anything that you can let go of? You know, and that's I mean, these are questions to ask yourself. Like, of all, if you look at everything that's on your plate, what are the things that you can absolutely let go of? And I'll give you a little example, right? Yeah. Like I know a particular metric for me to keep the lights on in my business is how much content I produce, how many leads come in, how many leads are qualified, and then from there is how many sales calls and how many closes, right? And so for you, in your position, money is and jobs are the most important, right? But then producing the work, you know, you guys are still very much on the production end of your work, and it seems like you can't necessarily let go of that per se yet.
Yeah, it's kind of tough,
right? Because you're the skilled labor, you are the product, you're selling that. And so for me, I think about, okay, what are the areas that are taking so much more of your attention? And then also too, if you have a lot, like those jobs that are to the right, are they quoted out and you're waiting on them? Or are you still trying to get them on?
The must convert all the way to the right column. The ones that didn't have money they don't have, like they're something hasn't been sent to those. And so, but they're
quotes though, right? They're quotes.
They're quotes essentially. Like we already met with the people. They already know. They've already told us what they want.
But you haven't put a dollar to that yet, right?
Nope. Yeah.
Okay. Nope. So this is what you do. This is exactly what you do, because the last time. Remember the last time you made a joke and you said you called it the Steve tax? I think now you need to do another Steve tax.
Like the 20% that we did before?
Add 20% to all of those bills, because then that's going to give you margin. If you're way too busy and way too swamped, it's because your prices are not high enough. But what I would do with those people, and what I would do with all of those people, is get into heavy, like, and it's kind of like how do you say it? Dating, right?
Okay.
Go to every single one of those people, friend them on Facebook, friend them on Instagram, and pretend through your content like you're talking directly to them, right? So then there's like this attraction method, right? And then make a fucking deadline to get every single one of those quotes out with the 20%, but look at your sales experience and how could you create a sort of a wow experience for them, right? So like when you send the quote, and are you sending a PowerPoint? Are you sending a QuickBooks thing? What are you doing?
Square.
Yeah, you need to change that. So Brittany, could you get them the PowerPoint, please?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll get you the PowerPoint, and then you fill you do copy and paste and you add your logo, you make it look really good. And then what I would do is send a video presentation walking them through, right? Or you book them on a call to sell them on the call, and then send a follow-up video message like, hey, we'd love to have you be part of the Deadwood family. You'll be in a long line of amazing clients, and we'd be very happy. Because now what you need to do right now is like, you're busy, you need to raise your price, but how you raise your price to get more margin that you can then reinvest in more people is by better positioning. You have to increase your positioning. But how you increase your positioning is your presentation, the experience, right? So when I think folks have heard me say this in the past, right? Like I've gotten, I've done sales and fundraising and that sort of stuff. Like I'd ask somebody, say, hey, give me $50,000, and be like, I need to think about it. But then it wasn't a no. But that time it was all about courting them. I'd show up to where they are. I would I'd ping them articles that I was reading, send them books, say how cute their kids are. And it was just like this nice little dance. And the more that they popped up on their radar, the higher likelihood I was able to close. Okay, so that's the first thing. One is that we need to increase your positioning. The second thing is taking advantage of the VMS. And so you just need to get that completely off your plate. VMS. Completely off your plate, because CRMs and following up and booking phone calls and all of that sort of stuff, and research from more wineries. Like why isn't a VMS pulling up a database of all of the wineries in the Central and Northern California and sending them a one sheet that they've created in Canva with testimonials from all of the other clients? Why isn't that happening? Right? And so that's the second thing you need to do. And then the third thing that you need to do is really monitor your time, because we're all busy, but how effective are we? And so I would look at your time. Does Mitch need to be sanding? Do you, Danny, need to be, I don't know, loading and unloading things? Like, do you need to be driving the truck to places? Because I mean, look, I live in Chicago. I can get to my place in downtown Chicago in 20 minutes, but you live in friggin' Egypt, right? And it takes forever to get, most of you guys live in places that it takes far to get so you're in your car a lot driving, when that time you could be talking to potential clients, working on bids and quotes. And so whether it is finding somebody on the mill side that you can empower a little bit more, and it's like, this is your job responsibility, this is the SOP on how it's done, that's how you're gonna. So it's like positioning, B, delegating and outsourcing the marketing, and C, delegating and outsourcing part of your actual jobs right now. Because like, I don't know, everybody else that's listening to this, doesn't it feel so crazy that you don't actually have time to think? Doesn't that fucking bug you that you can't sit down and think through something, right? Like all you need is 5 minutes. I want to think clearly for 5 or 10 minutes, and you don't have it. And it's frustrating, because then 4 o'clock happens, like, fuck, man, I didn't think about the thing that I needed to think about.
I didn't get shit done is how it feels sometimes when you've been working
Yeah.
You know, Mitch gets here at like 6:30 a.m. Like I got here at 6:15 this morning. So it's not like a lack of putting in the hours. It's just like the moment
Yeah.
the phone starts ringing, which
Yeah.
I got 2 different lines coming to my phone. And the moment that people get here, like employees who need direction and stuff, like,
Yeah.
you know, and then people walking in the door,
Yeah.
those 3 things right there could suck up a whole day.
So,
And you
so
have a
for me,
plan and those
so
are not
for
getting
me,
done.
the one thing that I would do is don't answer your phone for a particular amount of time, right? Like the first 3 hours of the day, don't answer the phone. Don't even look at your phone. You and Mitch say, this is the plan for today. Calls go to voicemail. You could leave a voicemail message and say, hey, this is Deadwood. This is Pacific Coast Lumber. We're really working super hard to produce the finest wood products from Central Coast of California. And I'm so sorry that we can't answer your call right now, but we will get back to you within 24 hours if you leave a detailed message, or for a quicker response, text me at blah, 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 or email me at blah, 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 blah. And then that's it.
Love that.
Like you just set the expectations that all of your callbacks are between this time and this time, and everything else could just go screw it. Because I mean, I'll one of the things that I started to do and I have done is just time blocking. My mornings are all about checking in with my sales team. My afternoons, mid-morning is about reviewing sales calls and numbers and metrics. Actually, I'm sorry. First thing, I'm creating attention and creating assets, right? The second thing, the mid-morning, is sales training and reviewing calls and looking at my numbers and ads and that kind of stuff. My afternoons are all about coaching. And then my last part of the day, because that's the high point of my day, is when I'm literally coming up with strategies for all of you guys. That's when I do. So that's what I do every single day.
And what was the first one where you're creating
I'm creating assets. Like I'm hopping on stories, I'm sending out emails, I'm making posts, I'm generating attention for my business.
Okay, got it.
All right.
That's pretty good. So time blocking essentially, right?
Blocking.
And like
exactly.
divvying your day up into what is and not allowing things to bleed one into the other, interrupt you.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. These are good. So I wrote all that down in your 3 primary steps. That's good info, Steve. That's actually, do you have any follow-up question to that? Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
That was really helpful. And I'm going to be working on getting that VMS. I already met with Daryl and I already have the person. I just haven't executed on the thing because I've been at the mill, you know?
It's hard. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But no excuse, you know, because ultimately then it just becomes a stressor in the back of my mind. No, I haven't done this. I'm not taking advantage. I invested this money. We're not doing the thing. And, you know, it doesn't help. Definitely not to do it. Sure. Makes it worse.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Cool.
All right. Before we go to the next one, was that helpful for everybody else to hear that?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I was needing to hear. That was perfect.
Okay. And everybody's different. Oh, well, I was going to say everybody's different. And one of the things that I want you to think about are what are the things that move your company forward? So like before we started, Justin made a 20K sale and he wasn't on a call, which is wild, right? Like that's incredible. Like, you know, I hired a salesperson, she made a sale without me being there. And think about, again, everybody feels like, oh, I have to be the one to do everything. And it's by nature of a woodpreneur, you can do everything. All of you guys are smart. You're so smart, and you work so hard. And you are the figure outers, right? Like you can figure it out and you do hard things. But really it's about doing the things that give you leverage. And you just need to buy yourself as much space as possible. Like buy yourself as much space as possible. If somebody can do it 70% as good as you, then that's good enough. It doesn't need to be 100%. Cool. All right. Any questions?
Hey, Steve, regarding the time block, this is Joey. Regarding
Oh
like the
shoot, I'm
time
sorry. I
blocks
was
and
on
everything.
video. Sorry. Yeah. Go
Um,
ahead.
and I'm driving right now too. So a prime example is today I'm driving 45 minutes one way to quote and talk to some people about some stair treads. And then when I get done, I'm going to turn around and drive an hour and a half a different direction to go quote some tree work at a college over here that I sold the president some slabs, and now he's gotten the vice president with me. And so it's turning into more work. But it's like I am pulled so many different directions every day that I cannot seem to just get stuff done that I need to get done. And then it's midnight and I'm still trying to do it because I feel like I haven't accomplished anything for the day. And I just do not know. I mean, and I'm with the Deadwood guys as far as the, you know, I have a sawmill helper. Now he's on the tree side right now because I had a situation last week where I fired 3 guys off my tree crew. So I had to pull him back and put him with my main guy and hire a new guy. And so now I'm without anybody helping me this week. And it's like, I have projects people are waiting on. I have projects to quote that I haven't even began to look at. I have wood that needs to be cut. I have a kiln that's going to be empty in about a week and a half with not near enough stuff to put in it. I just cannot seem to get everything done.
So the main bread and butter is still the tree company, correct?
Well, I would say yes, but I have a lot of work now on my sawmill side to do. I mean, you know, nothing like Justin and the guys that just talked or anything, but I mean, I have more to do than I can handle on it. So,
But there's
in
money
legitimate,
attached to
probably
it, right?
30,000
Is there money
yeah, I probably
attached?
have $30,000 worth of projects to do. And the thing is, around here, there are no carpenters. If they are, they're all good. So everybody's coming to me. They want stair treads. Well, then they don't have anybody to install them. So now I'm having to install them also. And it's just, yeah, I'm just,
Yeah,
I feel
so
overwhelmed.
so I know I completely so I just one of my other a new client that I just got on. So we started analyzing like his business and what he had the capacity of doing. And after a while, it goes from client and customer acquisition to talent acquisition. And so it is really hard to find good people. It is really, really, really hard to find good people. And sometimes you need to think a little bit differently about how you attract them. But listen, I used to think, and sometimes I still think that I can do everything myself. It's, you know what I mean? And so if you're like overwhelmed, stressed, what have you, and you got way too many projects, again, I would go back to the time blocking. So if you're doing quotes like this, just do it one day a week. It's like, hey, I do my quotes on Wednesdays.
Yep.
And then every phone call, so you know that you have your podcasts, your Woodpreneur podcast on tap, and you're in the car all day taking calls. Maybe you have a list of people that you're calling while you're driving from place to place, and then you're walking out with quotes and deposits every single time on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, you're like the mob, right? You're going around to you're collecting money on that day. That's the way you need to think about it. And so every activity, 1 to 2 hours a day, are all about booking quotes and all of that sort of stuff on Wednesdays. So devote 1 to 2 hours a day toward making sure that your Wednesdays are packed and you're willing to go an hour and a half in every direction. But before you get in that car to visit, you have to ask people, hey, look, what is it that you want? Right? And you're like, great. And then before things move forward, you're like, hey, look, a project like that is going to cost you X amount of dollars. Is that something that within your time frame? Like, great. Then the next step is for me to go out and evaluate and do a quote and that sort of stuff. But be prepared to have a deposit. I'm going to bring a deposit and an agreement, and I'm going to book you that day before I come out. Is that fair? Right.
Yep.
And then after that, Then you go out, you do what you need to do, and you have to leave with the deposit, and the job and the date and the agreement signed. That's Wednesday. So the second thing that I would do is, or the third or whatever after that, is make sure that you are legit spending time documenting the work that you're doing, right? Document everything that you're doing and take people along the journey with you on your Facebook page. I mean, look, when we met, however long, 4 or 5 months ago, could you imagine that you'd be doing what you're doing now in your sawmill business?
No, not at all.
Right? Like, you literally just got the kiln, correct?
Yep.
And now you're sitting on 30K worth of jobs from your sawmill business that you didn't even load in the kiln before, when we first got started, right?
Right. Correct.
So that is tremendous growth in a short period of time. And you need to be telling that story to more people.
Okay.
Because then that's going to be your continuous marketing because, like, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody knows about it, did the tree even fall? If you're building a 6-figure wood business and nobody friggin' knows about it, are you truly building a 6-figure wood business?
Sure. Okay.
And so
I can roll with that.
So that's all I could say to that. Time block and continue to tell your story. There's a thing that I've learned. You really can only solve one problem at a time. And then even when you solve that one problem, new things emerge. So what you need to do is, if the sawmill stuff and the tree, don't let the tree stuff die. If you need to bring on a partner and give a minority interest.
Okay.
Don't be greedy. You're like,
and I'm not.
You can give somebody a salary, train them, and give them 10% of your business equity.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that, because your heart's in the wood on the sawmill side.
Yep.
And
that's right.
Now you have somebody running, and then you're like, okay, every week you're talking to them every day, or you're every week you're having a meeting, game plan, training them. This is the new person. You teach them leadership skills. And then because you've done that on the tree side, next thing you know, you can do that on the sawmill side. And then after that, you can bring on a partner, 10% salary, so that you can focus on building this brand, fishing, talking about fishing, hunting, and then marketing the brand.
Okay.
All right.
I can roll with that. I get a little hesitant sometimes of saying, some of that, because I don't want people to think, oh, well, he's too busy, you go on to somebody else. But I know it also kind of establishes yourself as a legitimate person, and then that's who people want also. So
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't need to be equity. It could just be bonuses, right? Like, you give people bonuses. So, but give them skin in the game to grow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. All right. Who's next?
Can I just piggyback and tell them about, based on that comment of, like, you don't want people to think you're too busy. Just a little feedback. Our sawmill is in somebody else's property. His name's Jory Brigham Design, and he is a legend around here woodworking. And he makes like these crazy ping pong tables, game tables. Like a pool table that he makes is like $26,000-$30,000. Ping pong tables are like $19,000-$20,000. All I have to say about that is he's 10 months out and booking orders like crazy. I'm not saying that's convenient. I'm just saying what I wanted to say with that is people will wait. If you have the thing they want and they trust you, they actually will wait. Now, I don't want to be building our queue up that long, but this guy's 10. I asked him yesterday, how far out are you? He said 10 months. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank
sharing.
you for that. I appreciate it.
All right, who's next? Who's next? Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up. So you can either Instagram me or whatever and just grab my phone number. Maybe we can get on a little phone call. We almost got bought and then we didn't. And then we just bought a business. So we've been through on both sides of that.
Cool. So yeah, all right, anybody else has questions? Allison, Greg, Wendy, good to see your name. Dylan, Lindsay, Greg, Chris, anybody else? Questions, how can I help?
Steve, I don't have any specific questions. I'm just really overwhelmed. So all of the discussions today, I think were really helpful for me.
You're overwhelmed because you have a full-time job. Your husband still has a full-time job. You're booked out for 6 months. You have 3 kids, and you're homeschooling them.
Yeah.
Seems normal.
Yeah, it's perfectly normal. But my head is going to explode. There's just a lot going on.
Are you taking care of yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
I mean, are you like exercising, drinking water?
It's mostly coffee. So there's water in that.
There's water, there's liquid. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you should, do you have anything after this call?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You
So
should just go take it. Don't hop on a Zoom call. Or do it, but just go for a walk and do the call while you're walking.
I don't have a call. I have to go meet Jeremiah at a client.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I don't want to tell an adult how to take care of themselves, but take it.
No, I need that. It's okay. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I just like for the rest of I'm really both of us are really exhausted like at the end of the day, and that's when that's the only time I have to get any of this done. So we have a lot of proposals that need to go out, and I have to follow up on all the proposals that are already out. And
how much was last month? How much did you do last month?
I don't know. I have to look. I have no idea. Like not a lot of, it wasn't over 10. It might have been around 10. I don't know. But we have a lot of leads, a lot of appointments, a lot of proposals, but not a lot of sales because I'm like having trouble following up with things, I think. And I just don't have enough time.
Yeah. You know what you should do? You should get an administrative virtual assistant.
Okay.
Yeah. You should get a virtual assistant and learn how to delegate.
Okay.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Just because then maybe this person could do some of your home stuff. Research. Okay. Like, I mean, when I had my nonprofit and I was doing this on the side, there was people like, how the hell did you do it? And part of it was like, I had virtual assistants. I had people in my email as me responding, booking appointments, booking my travel. Like, just kind of get used to that. We live in a global economy. And so there's somebody that could take care of all of the stuff that you need to, and just outsource some of it. Like set up an email for them and have them do the things that you don't want to do. Your time is super valuable. Everybody's time is super valuable. You should be focused on your highest leveraged activities, and anything else that's like a $5 an hour, $10 an hour activity is just not worth your time. Like it's totally not worth your time.
Okay.
Like I'm now doing podcasts 3 days a week, right? Because I realize, I think I don't know if I said this before, but I get my best clients because of my podcast. And you actually have to scale what works. And the model is do more, then you do it better, then you start something new. So the thing that got you the result that you need to do, you actually need to do more of it. And then you refine it, right? So if you were getting leads from your Facebook page by posting one every other day, and you are posting one post every other day, right? You're not posting every day, correct?
Yeah, sometimes it's every day, sometimes it's every other day. Yeah.
So look, I would just test out to see if business would get a little bit busier if you posted 2 times a day. one in the morning, one in the evening.
Okay.
And then as you start getting results from that, then see if you can make your posts a little bit better, or make your content or your videos just a little bit better. If you got results from the voiceover stuff, do more of those. Literally do more of those. Like one thing that I would do is like, hey, this is a day in the life of a woodpreneur, and then show a picture of yourself going to the meeting with a client, and do a voiceover. Like, do that. Literally do that more. That's what you got to do. All right. All right. All right. I gotta jump. If you have any other, I'm sorry, I was a little late with my dog stuff. But if you have any other questions, feel free to pop in the chat. I got a lot more stuff for you guys. I got a lot more. Oh, who likes Ben? Super helpful.
Ben's been awesome.
Ben is our new ads guy. So yeah, we gotta take advantage. I'm even taking advantage of him. I mean, I hired him, but like he's smart. He's smart. He's really, really smart. But yeah, so we're gonna keep leveling up. Thank you guys. Please share your wins more. Share your wins in the chat. I like to see them, and it motivates everybody. Okay. Don't be selfish with your wins. I know how you guys are being modest. Don't be modest. And seriously, this framework, more, better, new. Whatever got you the results, do it more. So like the last thing I'm going to say is, if I'm going from 1 podcast a week to 3 podcasts a week, and I'm posting, last month I did 20 Instagram posts, I'm going 40 Instagram posts. Like, what do you think will happen? I'm going to get more leads, right? Think of it the same thing for yourself. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.